Hello for chapter 3. Welcome back. Again, if you haven't already seen my other videos on 1984 by George Orwell, please go in the list. 1984 by George Orwell, chapter 3 is what we're discussing right now. It's not too long of a chapter, and what's happening in this chapter is that Winston is beginning to dream. And the significance of this is that in dreams, we kind of have memories incorporated into dreams. And you have to remember that for so long, Winston hasn't thought, let alone dreamt. And he dreams of his mother and his sister. And he feels like the memory of the dream, he can't reconcile the memory. Is it a memory or is it a dream? It feels like a dream. It feels like a memory. He's not sure because you know that saying that once you're woke, it's hard to not be woke and like you can't enjoy things anymore. That's basically what Winston is going through at this point. He's awake inside, but he's not allowed to show it outside. So imagine all those people who talk about being woke, I'm so woke, whatever. Imagine if they had to say that only internally and they couldn't share it on social media or wherever, and they didn't have the freedom of speech that we are so lucky to have in North America for now. Foreshadowing. But so he wakes up from a dream. And in the dream, he's thinking about his mother and his sister, and the memory is unclear, but he remembers their death, or he dreams about their death. He can't reconcile the difference between a memory and a dream yet, right? Because he's just waking up from this long slumber of being a slave to the party. And we get to see his change. We get to see him get woke, as so many people like to say. And then the dream changes to the dark-haired girl, Julia, that we're introduced to in chapter 1, that made him feel uncomfortable. And now we can understand why it made him feel uncomfortable, because he wakes up with that word on his lips, Shakespeare. Julia, Shakespeare, right? And let's not forget who was a part of Shakespeare's most forbidden love play, that being Romeo and Juliet. So it harkens back to that. Actually, that's actually what Orwell, or many people say, many scholars say that Orwell meant it to harken back to Romeo and Juliet and the story of forbidden love. And it's that foreshadowing. Okay, so we have a little bit of foreshadowing going on here in chapter 3 about Winston and Julia. Might have something going on. Anyways, next thing is that while performing his daily exercise, they have to perform it in front of the screen where someone at the party headquarters is saying, lift your arms, touch your toes, jumping jacks, and whatever the case may be. It's morning calisthenics, and someone is watching you do this in your home where you must do it in front of the screen, okay? Sorry. So he's doing that, but while he's doing this, he's thinking. And imagine if you're thinking and you're not paying attention, your mom see it, your teachers see it, you're kind of like off daydreaming. But the party members are trained to recognize when someone is a thought criminal. So Winston now has put himself on the radar of his exercise instructor, right? That he's a party criminal, that he's thinking, he's lost somewhere in his head. You're not allowed to be lost in your head because you are a sheep. There's no need for you to think. So stop that. You set off a flag. It's important to note that. Okay? He also realizes that he is being watched, and he has to really hold back all that he's thinking. He has to continue to play dumb to prolong his life, which he plans on taking more risk in, right? So he's taking more risk. He knows that he's being watched. He knows that he's setting off flags, but he can't help himself because he's so woke now. He's awake. His mind is awake. He's thinking again. And as we know from the other chapter discussions, this is not allowed. And he has evidence that he's awake with his diary, and now someone has seen him thinking, and he set off somebody's flag. Okay? What else can we talk about? He realizes that his mind has been corrupted with all this constant destroying of the past. And he's coming to these realizations now, and it's hard for him to process, right? How do you process if you don't know what's real? If you cannot, on the grand scheme of things, understand what's real and what's fake? So he thought in his dream that he was remembering what old England was like, but he's still not sure that that's what it was like. So it's hard for him to continue on, and he gets a little bit, you can see he gets a little bit upset, because like he comes to this realization that, how do I know if my memories are real, or if what Big Brother tells me is real and what the party tells me is real? So it's hard for him to reconcile in this chapter, and that's what you see most of, and that's what you should pay most attention to. So there's the Shakespeare thing, Winston's dreams. He's dreaming. That's a big thing. He knows that the party is noticing that he's thinking, and now he's always thinking, and he finds it hard to turn it off, and partially giving himself away at some points. And it's still hard for him. He's still learning how to process his thoughts. So this isn't too much of a chapter. It's more stage setting, and it's important for that sense. So coming up next will be chapter 4. Again, please like, please share, please subscribe to my channel. There will be a little bit of everything for everybody, whether you be a student, whether you be a young mom wanting to learn. There will be a little bit of everything. So check them out. Check out my other videos for chapters 1 and 2 on 1984. And please comment, like, subscribe. Let's have a discussion. I hope somebody's waking up.